From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Malacañang on Sunday evening opened its doors to some of the country's biggest stars in the entertainment business, artistic talents, and film industry workers for the 5th edition of the Concierto sa Palacio, or in English, Concert at the Palace, honoring the invaluable contributions of local cinema to the nation's arts, culture, and economy. With the theme, Para sa Pelikulang Pilipino, or in English, for the Filipino film industry, the gathering showcased a lineup of world-class performers including Dane Mercado, a medalist at the World Championship of Performing Arts, or WCOPA, Molly Langley, a theater artist and contender of television singing contest The Clash, John Hoven and Gian Magdagal, television and theater actors, Sindao Philippines Performing Arts Guild, and local singing icon Jaja Padilla. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos led the celebration, accompanied by cabinet members. Among those in the audience were Christopher De Leon, Sharon Cuneta, Tirso Cruz III, Lorna Tolentino, Vice Ganda, Gladys Reyes, Lani Mercado Revilla, Christine Reyes, and Senator Robin Padilla, an initiative of the Office of the President, or OP, in collaboration with Radio Television Malacañang, or RTVM. Concierto sa Palacio aims to spotlight the vital role of Philippine cinema in shaping the country's cultural identity. It also celebrates the creative achievements of Filipino singers, dancers, and performers while preserving the rich heritage of local films. The event continued the tradition of themed concerts hosted by Malacañang, with previous editions honoring soldiers, athletes, teachers, and healthcare workers.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin has defended the suspension of Abra Province Governor Dominic Valera and his daughter, Vice Governor Maria Jocelyn Valera Bernos, saying the orders were in line with existing laws and not arbitrary decisions. Bersamin made the remarks after the Valera family supposedly appealed to President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to intervene in the ongoing political rift in Abra. Malacañang placed Valera under preventive suspension for 60 days for violating the local government code. The decision stemmed from a complaint filed last year against Valera and his daughter by Phoebus Palcon, spouse of Bukay Town Councilor Juan Palcon, who succumbed to an illness in the year 2023. Palcon claimed that Valera and his daughter violated the local government code when they installed another person to replace her husband, even when the law provides that the party of the deceased member should name a replacement. Meanwhile, Bernos was suspended for 18 months after being found guilty of oppression, abuse of authority, conduct unbecoming of a public official and disobedience to government policies related to the imposition of a community lockdown that affected hospital services during the pandemic in 2020. While father and daughter have denied the accusations, Bersamin said the preventive suspension was in accordance with legal procedures designed to prevent the governor from influencing witnesses during the ongoing investigation.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Local Government Unit or LGU of Manila under Mayor Honey Lacuna extended its appreciation to Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. after distributing thousands of kilograms of frozen mackerel from a seized smuggled shipment for the residents of Baseco in Tondo, Manila. Mayor Lacuna said that the distribution was fast as the social welfare system in the city is well organized in coordination with Malacañang and the Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD. Lacuna extended her appreciation to the president who has shown sympathy to each box of fish that was distributed, which is a symbol of how the government cares for the Manileño. The Manila Mayor also praised the support of Social Welfare Secretary Rex Gatchalian, Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla, and Department of Agriculture or DA Secretary Francis Chu Laurel Jr. Each resident received 2 kilograms of mackerel that is safe for consumption based on the tests done by the DA, which was also assured by Secretary Laurel.
Dateline Malacañang.
And news from Philippine government agencies. The Department of Justice and the Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG signed the new Implementing Rules and Regulations or IRR for the revised Penal Code. This aims to give a thorough review on profiles of persons deprived of liberty or PDL that would give them the opportunity to be set free. Among included in the new IRR is the shortening of prisoners serving time under the Good Conduct Time Allowance or GCTA. According to the projections of the DOJ, Bureau of Corrections, and Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, more than 9,000 prisoners might be awarded with a parole because of their good conduct while in prison. Since the administration of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., around 350% jail congestion was reduced throughout the country due to the programs implemented by the government in decongesting prison cells.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Task Force Canlaon has ordered the mandatory evacuation of residents inside the 6-kilometer Permanent Danger Zone or PDZ surrounding Mount Canlaon. According to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, Office of Civil Defense or NDRRMC OCD, this is due to the increasing activity inside Canlaon during the past few days. The task force expects to complete its evacuation efforts on Monday, December 16th, to residents residing around the volcano, especially those covered in the provinces of Negros Oriental and Negros Occidental. Particularly affected residents are from La Castellana, La Carlota City, Bago City, San Carlos City, and Canlaon City. Nevertheless, Entry-exit window hours from 6 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon will continue for residents who left their crops and pets. No one will be allowed to enter or exit inside the PDC beyond the said times. Emergency pickup points have already been established for internally displaced persons or IDPs who might be caught up once the volcano erupts. Villages as well as local governments are also tasked to come out with an order to ensure the safety of all residents.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, advised local governments and communities near Mount Canlaon to monitor the weather in Negros Island. Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, expects the possible entry of a potential low-pressure area, or LPA, in the Philippines Area of Responsibility, or PAR, this week that will bring rains. Local government units, or LGUs, must be ready to make steps to respond to the safety of its residents from the potential danger of lahar or mudflow in the area. During rains, residents should refrain from getting near rivers or waterways from the volcano that could possibly be sources of lahar flow from the top of the mountain. According to reports, there are 3 million ash deposits above Canlaon since it erupted last December 9th, 3 times larger than the 1 million metric tons of ash deposits recorded since it last erupted on June 3rd, 2024.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Civil Service Commission, or CSC, encouraged skilled professionals such as carpenters, plumbers, and electricians to apply for Skills Eligibility Category 2. This step will pave the way for their qualification to several government positions that does not require written tests. Under CSC Memorandum Circular, eligible individuals should have a very satisfactory performance rating during the first year of their temporary appointment. Nevertheless, this eligibility is limited to the mentioned skills and is not equivalent to a career service professional or sub-professional. Interested individuals needs to submit the required documents at the CSC Central Office in Diliman, Quezon City. All applications must be submitted early or before the end of their 1-year temporary appointment. Late submissions will be permitted if the applicant will remain in the same position.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, in an update, the family of Mary Jane Veloso confirmed that she has been transferred to Jakarta, Indonesia by the Indonesian authority from her jail in Yogyakarta. In a statement, the Veloso family said they were advised by the Indonesian authority that Mary Jane was brought to the main capital to start processing her return documents. The parents of Veloso were scheduled to go to Indonesia to visit Mary Jane, but this was canceled due to her jail transfer. The Veloso family will just wait for her return to the Philippines. The Department of Justice, or DOJ, earlier said Mary Jane might possibly be back in the country from Indonesia before Christmas. Last week, officials of the DOJ went and signed an agreement at the Indonesian Ministry for Law, Human Rights, Immigration, and Correction for the custody of Veloso.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, The Philippine Consulate in Los Angeles is currently coordinating with the California Sheriff Department to know if there are Filipinos or Filipino Americans affected by the raging wildfire in Franklin, Malibu. The consulate reminds all Filipinos and Filipino Americans near the wildfire to follow instructions from local authorities and, if needed, evacuate as early as possible. Based on reports, the wildfire continues to spread northwest of Los Angeles County. This threatens damage to infrastructures, especially to residential properties, including a huge number of Filipinos residing in the area. Around 13,000 residents are currently under evacuation orders. More than 12,000 hectares have already been set ablaze by the wildfire, and around 1,500 firefighters are currently helping to put out the fire. The Philippine Consulate in Los Angeles calls on affected Filipinos to coordinate with their office or call 911 or at the Los Angeles County Fire Department Public Information Office at area code 323, telephone number 881-2411 for immediate assistance.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 9.475 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.820 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.